going to do a quick edit on this picture. You can see that the colors look kind of dull just because I shoot in RAW and instead of JPEG. And when you shoot in RAW, your colors, your camera doesn't process the picture the same way, and so it doesn't do those like minor edits to make a photo look good right out of the camera. So this is a purely RAW photo. So here's what I'll start with. So I'm going to get rid of this little bit of a red spot here. So just using the cloning tool at a low opacity, and we'll just kind of get rid of that a little bit. Went a little bit too far there. Okay, and then we'll use our healing brush tool just to get rid of this hair that's coming across here. And so we'll just select that, drag this right down, let it do its thing. There you go, that hair is gone. So next what I'll do is I'm just going to run my Kelly Brown all-in-one workflow. That's just going to apply the majority of my color edits and stuff, lighten the photo up a little bit, change the contrast a little bit, warm it up. Okay, so, and I'm actually pretty happy with that, so I'm not going to do anything more to it. I'm just going to go ahead and flatten the image. Okay, so next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to run portraiture. So this is going to just sort of smooth out the skin a little bit. And we already have the skin pretty well selected there, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. Okay, so that just smoothed everything out a little bit. So then what I'm going to do is in my actions over here, did I go past it? I'm just going to run, oh, I totally went past it. There we go. I'm just going to run a Brighten Blue Eyes action. Okay, so I'll just select a pretty small, not that big, small brush at a kind of medium to low opacity. I'll just go over her eyes. This is just kind of brightening them up and sharpening them a little bit. Just bringing out her natural eye color. And then we'll go ahead and we are going to darken her lashes too. So let's bring that down a little bit. Maybe not that small. Bring this up a little bit. Nope, that is definitely too dark. Okay, I just don't want it to be crazy. I just want to darken her lashes a little bit, kind of draw some attention to the eyes. Okay, that's it. That's all I really want to do. And then I want to, I'm just going to whiten up her teeth a little bit. And we'll add a little bit of natural lip color to her lips. There we go. So there we go. Let's zoom out a little bit. I'm going to just flatten this because I really prefer to work on one layer instead of having a bunch of layers. And next what I'm going to do is I just want to even out this backdrop a little bit because it's a little bit dark over there. So I'm just going to duplicate the layer, and I just grabbed a little bit of the sort of like lighter color here. I'm going to grab a really big brush at a medium opacity and just kind of paint this. There we go. Just kind of lightening it up a little bit so you can see the difference that it makes there. So there we go. We'll flatten that image again. Next thing that I want to do is I'm going to sharpen up this image a little bit. So I want to sharpen up her eyes, her hair, her mouth, and yeah, so I'm just running a sharpen layer. So this is just an action that I made, and basically all that it's done is duplicated the layer and then filter smart sharpen, and then just created a masked layer that's inverted. So now I'm just going to paint on the sharpening. Okay, so I sort of did that at kind of like a medium opacity. I don't want it to be like crazy sharp, but we'll sharpen up her lips and teeth a little bit, and then we'll pull some sharpening into her hair. Now, this up here, these crazy stray hairs, this is something that I'm going to clone out. I'm just not going to do it in this video because it'll take a little longer than what I was hoping to spend on editing this. So, but that is something that I would recommend fixing just because it makes it look a little bit more polished. So I'm just going to, oops, I thought I had my clone tool picked. I'm just going to go in and just kind of fix up this little part of her lip here that's looking a little bit dark. I think she was just picking at her lip. And then make sure that I don't see any obvious blemishes. Yeah. The other thing that I would do is just down here, this dress. I should have ironed it, but I didn't. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just kind of grab my clone brush. Yeah, sort of this like lower opacity, and just go down here and just clone around, just to kind of remove some of these like darker spots. It kind of just looks less wrinkled. I mean, if anyone was really paying attention to the shirt, they could probably notice that I did this, but at first glance it looks better. I think it doesn't look quite so wrinkled. So there we go. Yeah, see, I think that looks a little bit better. And yeah, and then so next thing that I'll do is I will just actually, you know what? I think I might not sharpen. Yeah, we'll just move this down a little bit. So I just made an action that just kind of adds a wee bit more magenta and just kind of boosts the midtones just a little bit, just brightens them up a little tiny bit. That's mostly because if this photo is ever printed, I always boost my midtones a little bit more, a little bit brighter than what I'd like to see on my monitor, because I find when they're printed that it sort of prints more like what I was, hoping to see on my monitor, even though my monitor is calibrated. So we'll just go ahead and flatten that, and I'm just going to sharpen this for print. Which is taking a while. My computer's like, it's midnight. Let me go to sleep already. So anyways, that's it. And it's a pretty, simple edit. I'm just taking our photo from that kind of like drab, raw look to a more polished, brightened look. The other thing that I didn't do that you could do is come right into the face here, and my computer is struggling apparently. And just grab our dodge tool, and then you can sort of like lighten up here in around the eyes, and that just brings like, same with down here, it just brings like, well, maybe not that bottom one, that's a bit much. It just brings like a touch of light into the eyes. So it doesn't make like a crazy huge difference, but I find it definitely adds a little bit of something. The other thing that you could do is you can also dodge these catch lights, and it just makes the eyes appear just that much brighter and shinier. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed.